mix, the first thing we do is just put a sprinkling of sand on the bottom. It just helps turn the mix and it makes it easier to turn. So if we just get some handfuls of that and spread it out over here. Oh, that's a lot of clay. Clay, yeah. And then if we get somewhere maybe about 10 spades. Yeah. The sand is not beach sand from the sea. It's either from a lake or a river. It's coarse. It's builder's sand, and you can hear it. You can listen to it, and you can just hear it. You can probably hear it from there. Hear the crunch. And when your mix is finished, when you squeeze your clay, you should be able to hear that crunch as well. If you put a big pile in the middle, it's going to take forever to mix it. So
just sprinkle it.
Yeah, so what we do is we sprinkle probably a layer, maybe about that thick, on top of the whole thing. And then we need water. These big lumps will disappear quite quickly. A bit of water at a time. And we need to get it really dry. Peel, there's a big lump, peel and with hip wiggle.
Up and down.
Peel and hip, okay? Gets rid of those real big lumps. If there's too many people and you can't all stand out, get a circle thing going. You'll figure out how to fit. You'll figure out the mix. Once it's all in, you can probably sprinkle a little bit more sand. Thin layers of sand, if you have too thick, it doesn't penetrate in. It's like baking a cake. You know how you put all the ingredients in and you mix and all of a sudden it comes together? It's kind of like that, and you know the mix now, so you should be able to feel when it starts to come together.
We had this done in no time.
No. It's beautiful. There was somebody in the other group who sent and makes all their natural paste with it and that, and you can get so many. I mean, I found it's beautiful red and you can find grey.
So because we have a concrete foundation, we're going to lose all the heat if we build our oven directly on there. So we're going to create a layer of clay first. That's our thermal mass to stop all our heat from inside our oven being sucked down into the base. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. So we're going to lay 6 bricks across. 6 and 6. So we're doing a floor, okay?
So you don't have to be too fussy with pushing it around.
So clay, when we think clay, people often think they've got to go and buy some. But it's all those slips you see on the side of the road. Driving through Turangi, through the desert road, Portiki, you'll see clay. And we all have different clay. We all have different coloured clay. And on the USB stick is how to do a soil test to see how much clay you have. So when you get a lump of clay and you put it in a jar of water and you shake it, it's actually going to separate and you're going to have like gravel, silt and clay. And that will tell you what percentage of clay you have in this handful of dirt here. Because you only need 20% clay. So 80% is sand.
And this was supposed to be sitting since last night so you could have seen, but you can see already how much grit and how much, that's not clay. This will be the clay will all be in here. Clay's really fine. It's one of the smallest particles of soil you can get.
So here's a model. These you find everywhere. A fire brick.
Okay.
They have a rough side with a dent in and they have a flat side. So we have a rough side with the hole, we have the flat side. And because this is our cooking area, we want the flat side up. So this is no cost found in a paddock somewhere. Chip the concrete off. These are the alternative for those that don't have the resource. These are from placemakers. Okay, so these are going to go 6 across.
So any brick that's got that with a bit in the middle, like a hollow in the middle, is a fire brick.
Well, this one has, they have a fire brick marking. Our local one is HFB, Huntley Fire Brick. So your local area may have had a brick factory somewhere, and that's where your local knowledge comes in, and you will find bricks. Yeah. Now that you've got that in you, they'll manifest. They'll come up, and you'll just see them everywhere. You know. Yeah. So you have two options there. If I'm working inside my oven, there's a space here to sit my clay while I'm in there poking or whatever. So I have 3, 6, 6 and 6, okay? So the idea now is you guys can lay these out. It's called kissing bricks. Put them close, okay, and you lock them tight. If you have recycled bricks, clean side up, chips on the outside ones, because you might like to cook directly on your brick. Chuck your bread straight on the hot brick. Fold it up, pull it out. Put some more clay underneath if you need to. Yeah, that's one jam.
Yeah, did it.
Man.
Sorry.
Kiss.
Some more? I think so, yeah.
Need a bit more at the back. At the back. There you go.
That needs a bit more height.
Just crush someone's finger. Good way to start the day. This bit needs to go up a bit.
So this is the inside of the oven. This is the inside. Fellas need some clay.
Yeah, some back here.
Jeremiah's hogging it over here. He's guarding it. Look at him, he's guarding it.
No, I'm looking. Sharing.
Sharing is caring.
Can't do all of this thing, come on.
There's more over there.
Get in there.
You don't want to be knocking the wall of your oven, so I create a little horseshoe around the inside of my oven to protect. So, and you can use rocks, volcanic rock, hangi rock, anything. So what's in your region, whatever's in your bioregion, use it. Some people use a piece of metal, you know, like a shoe shape, whatever you've got.
Sorry to get that, just to cut down the ash from getting in the corners.
No, this is to stop you damaging the wall of the oven when you're digging in it, cleaning it out.
So
Yeah.
you keep building that up? That wall?
No, this is just the bottom. Yeah, the clay is going to be all here, and that's our thermal mass to hold our heat. So I like to use old bricks because they can. So I've got 2 half bricks will pop in there. So honestly, try even rocks on the base. There's no reason why you can't use a volcanic rock on your base. Yeah, be creative. So I'll get 2 half bricks for protection.
I'm here to help.
For the inside of your oven. Okay? So the gap we leave here is determined by the size of your tray, your door. Collector, and I just said to him, can you give me a bit of tin for a door? You know, nothing flash, I wanted a bit of tin for a door. And he comes back with all this on it. You know, he's a tradesman, you know. And so, but mine at home is 2 oven trays, cut the archway, and then it wasn't big enough and I riveted a bottom piece on. So any old handles, a lot of people like a nice piece of driftwood, of a hardwood, a matai or whatever, and as it burns off over time, you just put a new one on. Other people just stack a pile of bricks up for a door. So whatever you've got, coal range doors, bits of iron, you can have wooden doors and you just soak it in water before you use them. So it's all up, what's in your region? What have you got in your shed, you know? So what's going to hold our door up is it's going to be on an angle, just leaning on the oven. So this gap, I always determine the gap by my door. And when you build your oven and you haven't got your door ready, make a cardboard template. Just cut one out because you've got your measurements. And you'll find the treasure. It'll come about for what you need when you start looking. So you don't even need this lip on it. You can just lean it on your oven. Yeah. Okay, so we just throwing it in there.
Oh, missed. Damn, I have to be a better sportsman.
So keep an eye on how thick your clay is. We've got our fist, so we get it even. We're aiming to keep it 4 fingers wide around, okay? So we've got an even width. So we know when we do our next layer that we're on, I've got an even thickness around the oven. Yep. All of the oven, the clay would just ooze, it would just flow down. So you want this firm mix so you can put clay on top, and it's not falling, okay? There you go, Alison.
But here.
Yes, and this is the front of the oven, so it's going to be all sculptured, and so do what you like now because it's all going to be tucked and whatever's going to happen to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
How does it you just light the fire to dry it? That's all right.
so
I'm
what,
talking to myself. Sorry, cameraman, can edit, take that out.
now that you've got this sus, we try and get it on a little bit of an angle down, so the next layer is all going to lean towards the inside of the oven. Just a little bit of angle, downward angle on it. See how that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
And you can just go like that.
I see what you mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No sweat.
Right.
So
I see what you mean, so we've got to make that a bit lower, see?
Yeah. Just feel free to go like that. Awesome. So where's our paper?
We'll do a little over it.
Okay. In here we have our soaking paper. So river sand, because it's coarse. The clay will adhere to the river sand. Sea sand is really smooth, so we need river sand. Oh, it's in my bag. So I'm glad to write in it. Alison?
That's right. This is lovely seed.
This is just available from Placemakers. $20 for a whole trailer, you need quarter max. The door needs to be at least 2/3 of the height. So we need to go 1/3 above the height of the door, okay? But the newspaper is going to be tucked in to the inside of the brick, and this is going to have a clay layer over it. The idea is the newspaper, it separates the sand and the clay. I've made an oven where we never put the paper on, and when you pulled the sand out the door, all the sand was stuck to the top of the oven, and every time we lit the fire, the sand fell down. And it just went into the clay burn after burn, and we brushed it, we did everything, and we couldn't get rid of the sand. The sands, yep.
Like a ridge.
Yeah, that's it, right down into the brick.
So from the bottom up, that's the one. Well done. That's simple.
Oh.
We'll leave them strips long then. Don't rip them short if they're falling. Just leave them really long. That's the one. Put a short one over the top to hold it there. That's it. Go down the back here. Well done. Perfect.
You have a big bit like that?
Yeah, we need a piece round this side.
Okay.
We're done.
What sort of paper is it?
I don't know. It was just from the play centre. Yeah, newspaper. We just use newspaper normally. It's actually quite thick. Newspaper will be softer and draped tighter. Yeah, but that's all we had, so we used it. Yeah, that's all you need. The idea is the sand's covered, so that's it. So is that us? Is it Smoko? So what we've done here, we have our thermal mass underneath to stop the heat disappearing into our base. We've laid our foundation bricks, which is the bottom of the oven. The fire will go on top. We've gone 6 across, 6 across, 6 across. 3 in the front for a working area to rest our pots on. The door will go here. We've got our bricks here to protect the inside of our oven when we're poking around in there. We've put our sandcastle in, about a third higher than the height of the door. We're now going to do a this thick layer of clay that's going to go over, and then there's going to be another, okay? The paper's to separate the sand from the clay. The paper will burn out when we empty the sand. So that's it. So we're not pressing on the sand form. Okay. So your hand on top, and yeah, here we go. One. That's it. We have people feeding. Oh. Catch. That's the one. So now we want to monitor, because you want to know how thick the wall is you've just made, and we want it this thick, remember? So we're going in, hand on top.
Excuse me, you destroyed my plate.
There you go, get in here and pay again. Destroy mine. Now see how I'm tipping it over?
Oh, to make the art.
That's so it will hold
okay.
it. So you come round, and now we're getting our finger width, and we're going to push it up. Watch the bricks, because you get your knuckles. What's this road called? So what we do is as we remove this one here, we'll go down and make it. Oh, that's wonderful. It's very quick. I didn't realise it was so big. Yeah, here. The big with gym building. I'll go and get my knife.
So the inside is only sand, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll scoop the sand out later.
Yeah.
You just tell us how far this
And there's no right or wrong way to do this. Some ovens you can build right over, and then they just cut the whole door out. Yeah. So we're going to put this here. And this is going to hold the oven. Yep. You can see where we want it built up.
Yep.
So I like to just make sure it's squeezed behind it, because this is where the oven door is going to rest. That's no biggie, we take it off, and we've got all that to play with still. See where our door's going to be?
Yep.
So we just cut it out, and then you can, and someone can knead that in and do something. So can you see what we're doing, Dawn? Yep. And we've got our brick here, which is really good, because that's what the door is going to rest on. And take a lot of the bangs when things are, you're busy at the front of the oven.
Yeah.
So there you go.
We make this look really cool. You know, decorate it like face.
So I'm cutting it to the edge of the brick, cutting to the edge of the brick so that our dish can slide in. Now we just tidy up, play with it, smooth it off. That's high enough for you fellas, Dawn? It's surely high enough. It's high enough for me.
Hey, hey, in
For the food.
I'm going to put the hay in.
Yeah. So our door's going to rest on this piece. So I'm just getting a bit creative around it. And there's still an insulating layer to go over this.
Oh,
So don't get too detailed with your sculpture, because it's going to sort of get lost in the thicker layer.
Yeah.
But you can still sculpt with the next layer.
So how many layers is it now?
We've got
This is
one.
the second?
This is just the first
Oh,
door.
first one?
This is just sand and clay
Yeah.
to store the heat. Okay? the straw or sawdust, whatever you want to use in your second mix, pumice, whatever's in your region, because we've got tarawera here, we've got heaps of pumice, we've got taupo, so a lot of pumice on our second layer, and that's the reinforcing layer. So straw, and it all acts like the scaffolding, the structure of a home, the frame. So that's what straw crisscrosses and holds it all together. Our door's going to sit there, so you can leave it there now.
Yeah.
Have a look, shall we?
Yeah.
And you can have a look and get all fancy now.
Yeah.
So we can do big fat. Even though there's another layer to come, you can do a big fat thing around it if you want. Get this one up on it, Truthful.
I could do that.
We don't want you to.
I could do that. Well, I'll show you fellas up. Good thinking, though.
Woohoo! Look at it! Taking shape now!
Yeah, they're just having a play.
Neat!
See how fat this is? This is the kind of thickness you want if you're going to do patterns and that, so you can get that definition.
So this is all from Minganui, which is out not by Murupara out there where Mel's from, and it's 50 years old, all these from natives. There you go. Try that. I'll leave that with you in case you want
As
some
old
more.
as you.
Oh, yeah, just about, Mike, just about. Yes, don't worry, I will later.
Get him when he's not looking.
Yeah.
Just, I can do something in there. It can be the door open and I'm just using it.
One thing with the straw is to make sure you put a really thin layer on. If you put a lump in, the lump will stay a lump and you won't be able to get rid of it. So a nice thin layer, spread the clay out into a pancake and then put a little bit more on.
Oh, look at this young generation.
We're putting the chimney to the back so that our heat can still roll around the oven. If we put it on the top, our heat's going to go out our oven. So Denise is going to do the honours, Deborah. So we're going to just cut it in, she's just going to wiggle it in, cut in, and we're just going to pull it out till our sand form, till she hits the sand form, and we're going to build the clay around it to support it. For a lid, put a rock in, make a clay plug yourself, or anything that'll sit in there. Cover it and put a rock on it. Put a wet sacking or something, whatever, if you want to cover it to keep the heat in while you're cooking, okay? And you're going to go around and keep that width around our oven and build up the chimney, okay? This layer has straw in it for structural support. This layer doesn't. Our first layer is sand and clay for good insulation, so keep the heat in. So it's all yours, team.
Cool.
Can we come on this side too?
Yep,
Or?
I think we've got to go all the way around.
So it will stick. And if you want to make a real runny mix with the tamariki, so it's easier, but it will just run if you try and put it on the oven.
So to go around, isn't it? Yes, we still got to come around.
So we're going to insulate around the chimney, just for more heat efficiency. So we're going to cover the chimney in clay. Ideally it would be great to have some chicken mesh around here, so once the clay dries it would adhere better. The door, we've created it on a lean, so we don't need hinges, we don't need a stand, okay? So an old dressing table handle, a piece of wood, whatever you've got, be creative. inside we've still got our sand, which is supporting our form, okay? Leave it covered, take it off in the sun if you like. Depends on the temperature really, you want it to dry slowly. 10 days, okay? And if you can't, just dig out a little bit a day, let a bit more air in, you know? And as you dig it out, it will drop from the roof, it will just fall out. And get a brush and just gently brush it out. And it'll still be very moist inside. Light a little fire, that big, inside it. Feed it slowly, the kids can do it. And it will start to steam as the moisture starts to release from it, okay? So as it dries inside, it's just going to get pulled out the heat. And the moisture will get drawn back in when the fire goes out, so it'll take a few small firings to dry it, okay? Natural cracking will occur, fill it up, you can lime wash it. Lime, 2 parts, 3 parts sand and water. It's called builder's lime. It's available from farmlands, not garden lime, builder's lime. It's all online how to do that if you want to go that far. But if you always shelter it, whether it's lime washed or just natural like this, always shelter it. And it will last many, many years. Yeah. Amen.
Before y'all go, Tony and Robin and all of us at Childspace. Oh, you're amazing. Thank you.
Everyone's amazing.
Thank you.
Everyone, come here, girls. Come on. Come on.
You've been awesome, thank you. Thanks to everybody.
Thanks,
That was awesome.
team. Yeah.
Here, can we have a shot with you and your team?
Can you have a shot?
You with you.
I also wanted something.
Pass my camera to please.
We came, we conquered.
Thank you, early birds. Thank you.